Uh, Firstly, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, organizers, for inviting me. Last week, when I received a call from Monica about this wonderful seminar that is happening, I first thought that I work with Autocompo. We do not have production in India. We sell the material in India, which is imported. So why I should come over here? But then I said yes. Reason being, 30 years back, when I was doing my engineering, I don't remember whether I was in second year or like that, and that was the first time I presented a paper and remember the topic, export and challenges. And that was in somewhere in India International Center. So that was point number one. Point number two, if any one of you, you have been following me on the social media, my tagline is developing corrosion-free Bharat, a country with the purest minds, purest souls, and purest thoughts. And third thing, whosoever knows me in the industry, they know that I have always been talking about innovation and exporting the technology, exporting the engineering from India. So I said yes. So I'll not make any presentation about my company. My name is Deepak Vaidya. You can Google Autocompo, you will know it. But I'll put across some points. What are the challenges that we are facing in India that I feel for export of steel or rather engineering? First thing, going back to July 2019, Prime Minister's Economic Panel, they suggested that the expenditure on R&D in India should increase to 2% of GDP by 2022. So we are in 2022. That time it was 0.6, 0.7%, and I think we are still at the same level. So that is the one big challenge. Within country, we are not investing on R&D. Maybe people, everyone, all the steel manufacturer or the downstream industry, they are doing some R&D, but for their product. Not as a technology. We are not developing the new applications where we can actually sell the steel, where we can actually push the consumption of steel. So that is one thing I think we are lacking. That is one big challenge. The previous speaker, he talked about lack of talented manpower, but I slightly disagree, sir. Globally, there are Indians who are running big companies. You go to any sector. So I do not agree that we have lack of talented manpower. We have, but what we are missing is competence mapping and assessment. So it is a challenge with the industry. There is a talented manpower, but we are not able to map their competency. So we are not putting the right people to the right work. So that is one big challenge we need to look at. And yes, people are shifting to IT sector. I had been a part of Indian Institute of Metals Delhi chapter for long, and I know we used to discuss that why metallurgists are not coming to the industry. That is a big challenge. But let us take a holistic view overall. If you have gone through the World Happiness Index that is declared every year, out of 150 countries, India is at 136th place. So it means the people are not happy with whatsoever they are doing. So why it is like that? If we go into the depth, you follow the countries, you will see starting from Finland, then Denmark, or like that, you find that the innovation is directly proportional to the this World Happiness Index. Because most of the people who are participating in this survey are the professionals who are actually giving their feedback, and that is how it comes over. So what we should do, we should invest more and more on the innovations. Third thing, we talk about sustainability in our business, but what practically we are doing about sustainability? I was not there in the initial sessions, but I know what happens in all these sessions. You have all the water bottles lying over there. We drink half of it, keep it. During the tea break or in the lunch, the hotel staff comes, removes it. So we waste a lot. But why not we develop a culture, and if there are hotel staff over there, I would request them also. Please tell everybody, or the organizer, tell everyone that have a marker, write your name on the water bottle, and if half of the bottle is left, please keep it there. Either you take it away, because then we are saving, otherwise let us not cry about that we do not have drinking water. We are wasting it ourselves sitting over here. So that is another point. Talking about the carbon footprints, I will speak what is relevant to the steel industry only, not to the whole. There are 21 UN sustainability goals. The point number 3, the third goal is good health and well-being, and that is not of only your plant equipment, but of your employees. That is very important part. You need to take care of that. Fourth one is quality education. You need to continuously educate your employees with the new innovations, what they're doing, how they learn the new technology, how they develop it. Sixth one is clean water and sanitization. I just talked about clean water. Seventh is affordable and clean energy. So let us start working on that. I'll just talk about in India, if you know, we have this global solar commission is something there, and that is headquartered in Gurgaon, International Solar Mission. They have a headquarters. And whenever I meet someone from there, I always say that why you are pushing only PV modules in India? Why not the CSP, which is a concentrated solar power? You can have the tanks. I know it's the initial investment is a bit high, but then you can have that tank. You don't need that much of space, and it contains some type of salt. You can conserve that energy, and you can utilize it in the night also. That is another thing. Even if we are going to the PV module, we have so many lakes, so many canals. Why don't we put the structures on that? First thing, you have a solar energy. It will catch over there. Downflow, it's a water. It will keep it cool. So you have a good gradient to take care of that. So that is another thing we need to look at, apart from the hydel and all that you have to do. And then the eighth is decent work and economic growth. Of course, the company should grow, company should make money. Of course, we are not here for the charity. We have to make the money for our company, but then we have to look into that we do a decent work, the nice workplace. Then accordingly, we have industry innovations and infrastructure that I just talked about. Then sustainable cities and communication. Yes, it's a very good initiative of the government that we are talking about the sustainable cities. But personally, I feel that this is not something new. I think even the Harappa or Mohenjo-daro, they were also sustainable. So probably we need to think, what does sustainability means? It doesn't mean that you keep on investing. The thing is, you have to use the right resources. Reason being, you do not have two earths. You have only one earth. And if you go to this ecological depth day, which this year will fall somewhere on 22nd of August, which means we will consume all the resources that Earth can produce for you for this year. So you are taking it out after 22nd of August, you will take it out from the future generations. 12th is responsible consumption and production, which I talked about. Then 13th is climate change. I just mentioned you what is. And 17th is partnership for the goals. Like, yes, you have the customers, you have the vendors, but what I suggest, if we have to develop the exports, we have to develop those partnerships, not only with your customer or vendors, but even with the specifiers, even with the people who are the process licensors. There should be a committee or there should be a continuous dialogue that, see, if someone has written some standard, it doesn't mean that it holds good always. There should be continuous upgradation, not because of the quality, but depending upon the resources or allocation or that we have in the country, that how we develop it and develop our engineering and export and do that. Another thing, the last point which I talked about is the cost of corrosion. It is 3.4% of the GDP globally. In India, it is 4.2%. Sir, I said 17% is industry production, and we have a lot of share of agriculture in our GDP, but I would say there is something else, agriculture, which we should leave apart, and that is not AGRI, but AGREE. It is our responsibility that if we feel that something is wrong, if some specification is wrong or something is happening wrong, please raise your voice. Please speak out, please share your thoughts, because you have a lot of knowledge. As I said, we have a lot of talented manpower. So probably let us leave that agriculture, of course, agriculture, AGRI, we should develop. And final thing, my last point, what I would like to say is the missing innovation around the customer's money-making model. That is one thing the industry is missing. We do the innovations, we do it for our process, our products, to sell our products, but how many of us think that with this innovation, how my customer is going to make the money? He has his set, he will not change his business because of you. But within his setup business, how you can add value so that he makes more money out of that. You teach him about life cycle costing, because now the government also has that in its tenders and all that. You can push the LCC life cycle and how your customer is going to make money. That is how, if we combine all this, we will be able to increase our engineering and exports in the global market. Thank you, sir.